Hello everyone and welcome back to the One Stop Co-op Shop. We're going to start episode 3 of Folklore the Affliction. Now, I know it's been a while since I did the last video. I made tons of small little errors, so we're going to go through that quick before we jump back into the play. So the first thing I did wrong, when I rolled for first strike, I rolled the percentile dice. I should have just rolled a d10 for each of the enemies and for our heroes. But it kind of worked out the same. We still rolled a higher number on our d10 die than they did, so we would have gone first anyways. When the priest was attacking in that second episode, he would have been able to roll 2 of the damage dice because it's a two-handed weapon and take the better result. The total coins earned by our team was 2 per wolf, so that's 6 coins in total each of our heroes would have gotten. So our archaeologist has 11 coins, Val has 11 coins, and Rave, our priest, has 10. They also received 10 lore per wolf, so that's 30 lore for each of our heroes, with an additional 8 that the priest had from being respected. I moved the wolf. Remember, he was over here, and he went through the fence. He should have gone around, but he had enough stride anyway, so it didn't really matter. Just making sure you guys know that. Also, when Samson passed that archaeology test to be able to keep his bandages, he should have gained an additional 2 vita because he's the explorer. So I moved him from 15 vita to 17 vita. And then finally, I did not check spooked for any of our heroes. So let's do that check now. We need to pass a nerve 5 check, but all of them have -1 nerve, so we have to really pass a nerve 6 check. Ooh, archaeologist passed. The priest passed. Wow. And Val did not pass. Okay, now we can move on with the playthrough. So the first thing that we need to note, while we're in the mausoleum, your skin crawls as you feel tension stirring the air. The dead are restless today. At the end of every round on this map, the leader must roll a d10. A 1 through 3 encounter 3 decaying dead. Place them adjacent to random characters and begin combat. Once the encounter is complete, you are no longer required to make this roll, nor is your stride reduced by 1. 4 through 0, nothing happens. And right now, characters have a -1 stride on this map. So we're going to start doing our adventure here. Now, how the adventures work are very similar to encounters. We can move around the board using our stride. All of our strides are going to be 3. We can interact with these different items. Oh, that's one of the things I forgot to mention. I missed that. When we do... In the other playthrough, I thought I could either do an interaction or do an act like attacking. No. You can do both. So you can interact with something like this pit here and continue moving if you want. Our leader is going to move from the archaeologist to the priest. So I'll move this token over to the priest. So the priest is going to go first, and the thing he's going to do is he's going to try and get over to this search token. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. That's all he can do. Now Val, though... Val is going to come over here and go 1, 2. She is adjacent to this pit, so she's going to interact with this. We're going to investigate the open grave by performing this map skill check. We need to do an awareness 6 check. Now she has a +2 on her awareness, so we just have to roll a 4 or higher. Come on, 4 or higher. That's a 7. That means we get to read story moment 34 on page 47. Inside, you see a half-desecrated corpse whose stomach has been removed and viciously chewed upon. Ugh. There's a glint of something within the gore. You reach inside, trying not to vomit in disgust. Your hand touches something round and hard. Pulling it carefully out, you discover a pearl ring. Through dry blood, you can see a delicate scrollwork pattern with a detailed filigree. You feel a compulsion to put it on your finger. You cannot resist! Gain the red story marker. Uh-oh, this could be bad. Or it could be good, I don't know. What is this going to do? We'll find out. We can take this die off. I should have rolled the red die, but it doesn't matter. Red or black, they were both D10s. So then what we'll do with our archaeologist, go 1, 2, 3, start moving up towards the door over here, and maybe do this search as well. So that'll end the round. Now we have to roll our D10, and as long as we don't roll a 3 or less, we don't have to encounter the decaying dead. Come on, 4 higher, 4 higher. That's an 8. We're good. To start the next round, we're going to have the priest take 2 steps here and do a search. 1 through 3, ouch, we lose some health. 4 through 7, nothing. 8 through 10, we find an item. Come on, 8 through 10. Come on, 8 through 10. That's a 6. Okay, 6 is nothing. We'll remove this, and now we get to do 1 more movement, so we'll take a step over here. Next will be Val. Val will go 1, 2, 3. That's all that she can do. And Samson will just go 1, 2, 3 to get himself closer to this search token. All right, let's roll again to see about that decaying dead. Come on, 4 higher. 6, we're good. So I'm going to take a chance here. I'm going to do a rest action. That means that we're just going to do a round of doing nothing, but we're going to gain some health and Vita back. To do resting, all characters immediately recover 4 Vita, 4 power points, and 4 ghost points. We don't have that. Up to the maximum amounts. And then the leader rolls a d10. On a 1, 2, or 3, the group must skirmish by rolling the character's skirmish table. Okay, more luck going on. Resting must be done at the start of a round, and no other actions can be taken. So that's exactly what we're doing. While adventuring, once a rest is completed, a skirmish resolved, the round ends. While on the world map, don't have to worry about that. And yeah, we can only do this once per chapter. So we're still in chapter 1, so we can do this. Samson goes up to 21 health, and he goes back up to 5 power points. Our priest goes to 21 health. He didn't use any power points, that stays the same. But then Val goes up to full health at 22 and gains up to 5 power points. That was so helpful. But now we have to roll to see if we have to skirmish, and then we have to roll for the end of the round as well. Whew! So we don't want to roll a 1, 2, or 3. Okay, that's a 10. Awesome. Then we don't have to roll a 1, 2, or 3 again. Oh, it's a 4, because that could have been the decaying dead. Awesome. All right, next round. First player to go is going to be the priest. I'm going to take a chance here. I'm going to have the priest go 1, 2, 3, move here, and do another search action. Maybe we can find an item. Just got to roll an 8 or higher. Yes, that's an 8. Let's see what we get. Come on, be something good. We have fitted gloves. Exhaust to re-roll a missed attack. Ooh, arms. So we can definitely wear that. A priest would wear gloves. So we can remove this search token. Next is Val. Val's going to come over here. 1, 2, and she is going to try and unlock this door. So can she unlock the entrance to the mausoleum? It's a trickery 7, so she just has to roll a 7 or higher to be able to do that. Looking for a 7 or higher. That's an 8. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. You are able to unlock the door. Remove it from the map. We'll take this door off. I did not expect her to make that. I thought I was going to have to use our Archaeologist because he's got a +1 on trickery. But now, what I believe he can do for his turn, 1, 2, 3, go in the door, and we all get sucked into that door as well, and we'll move on to the next step. Chapter 2, Into the Darkness. You pass through the doors of the mausoleum to discover that the back of the wall has crumbled, exposing an entrance to the caverns under Nurian's Hollow. It is dark and smells of decayed meat. Ugh. Your senses tell you to run, but your bravery edges you through the hole into the wall. We need to do a nerve 4 check. Enter the dark without letting fear get the better of you. Now remember, Val is going to be at a -1 for this, so she'll have to do a nerve 5 check. This is for the Archaeologist. A 7. He passed. Here comes the priest. An 8. He passed. I love this die. Okay, and now Val needs to get a 5 or higher. That's a 10. That is all 3 successes. Confidence surges through you. The darkness penalty you receive in the next map is reduced by 2. Oh yeah. The caves are dark, damp, and cold. You trip and stumble trying to find your way in the near blackness. After a few minutes of this wakening nightmare, you notice a glow ahead. Faintly luminous mushrooms provide the only evidence that you have not left the world and stepped into Hades. The passageways narrow. You become claustrophobic and have to take deep breaths to calm yourself. Suddenly you see movement up ahead, barely noticeable in the dark as figures stealthily close on your position. So this next room is going to have darkness. What darkness does, and you can read it here on your own, but you can also see it here, -5 might for melee attacks and -10 might for range. Also, the enemies are guaranteed first strike, and if you do have a light source, it does not affect you, so that's pretty cool. And because we passed that skill check, we get -2s for these, so it'd be -3 and -8. Awesome. Here's what our map is going to look like. We'll start here. We're going to have to take on, 2 Night Stalkers? Yeah. And there's potentially an area here of spawning and some more search areas, or we might just want to exit. We'll see what we want to do. Our primary objective is to defeat the Night Stalkers. See the encounter dialog box. The map is in darkness. Creatures go with the first strike, -5 might for your melee, -10. If there are no foes on the map and you're ready to move on, I think this should say skip to the changer on page 9. We can also investigate all search locations. the rebel's unstable and you may be shifted to open the passageway. So what we can do is open that up, you spend an action, and then read story moment 53 on page 49. And so here it just tells us we're going to encounter 2 Night Stalkers. So here's the Night Stalkers card. We're going to play with 2 of them. They're each going to have 22 health, so I'll keep them tracked up again by dice. I wish there was a better way, but I'll figure that out later. So 22 and 22. I believe it's still dusk, so they'll get a +2 on their might. They are melee attack, defense is 48, stride is 4. They'll give us then 50 lore and 12 coins, which is awesome. This is their power abilities, so if they hit us, a 1 through a 5, they have a savage attack. 6 through 7, they have join the pack. And 8 through a 0, they have hellish howl. And we'll just see how those work if we roll them, which we're not, of course. I do want to read this, though. On a successful hit, the Night Stalker transforms into a werewolf if its power die is 0. Any damage it has already received is subtracted from the werewolf's vita. Remove the Night Stalker from the map and replace it with a werewolf. Whoa! That's so cool! This tells us that they are a shapeshifter because they can change into a werewolf. So that means our Archaeologist does not get his +5. They're not mortal. So here we have our map. Up here we've got our spawning points and the search tokens, but we're blocked on getting there unless we take an action to remove that rebel. I have the Archaeologist here, the Priest here, and Val right here. But our leader is going to be Val because we now have to move the leader token to her. However, the Night Stalkers will activate first because they have first strike. So they have 4 movement, and they're going to want to get as close as possible. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He can't move diagonally here because there's a rock in the way. But he could move diagonally here because there was nothing in the way here. And then this guy will go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see they're coming right up to hit us hard. And what stinks is we only will be able to attack with 1 melee hero because I'm not going to be able to get the other guy over there. So, but fortunately Val is ranged. So now it's her turn. Since these guys are not adjacent to our heroes, they can't attack. So Val will attack first. Val is going to use her quartz lantern. Okay, she only gets 3 uses of this, but it acts as a light source, which means she is not affected by the darkness. So she needs to roll and hit a 48. She does have a -5 because of her spooked ability, but then she has +3 for might, so it's only a -2. Come on, 48 or higher. That is a 96 or 99. Oh my gosh, it's a 99, 1 away from 100. Oh, and this is a great time, you guys, to talk about the dice. So somebody mentioned to me there's 2 different ways of looking at these dice when you do percentile dice. If you roll a 0 and a 9, 90 on this one, I was thinking that's 100. Technically, that's 90. What's 100 is 0, 0, 0, 0. That seems so weird to me, and that's not how I played the last one. So I'm going to be consistent and say this is just a 0 roll, and to get 90 or to get 100, I have to roll a 90 plus a 10. Oh, this isn't a 0 roll. A 0, 0, 0, 0 is a 10 roll. So this is a 10, and to get a 0, 0, 0 or a 0, 1 roll, you would just have to roll this. Okay, so that's how I'm going to play it. This is a 1. And if I roll a 90 and a 0, that's 100. Whew, okay, that was way too confusing. Sorry about that. The other thing I'm going to do, because I'm doing this on camera, I'm going to roll a D8 for the D4s, and then we'll just divide it by 2. So we're going to do a D4 plus 1 damage. So I rolled a 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3 points of damage, plus 1 is 4. We're going to do 4 damage, but don't forget about our damage bonus, so that's actually 5 damage. So now we can put them down to a 17. Awesome. The next one to go is going to be our Archaeologist. He'll be able to walk through our Priest and come right here. He's going to say, Priest, I got this. He is going to attack this Night Stalker. So you guys, I was silly. Look at this range too. I should really have the Priest and the Archaeologist switch places, but that's my own tactical error, so we're just going to leave it as is. So he has a -8, or no, a -3, because he is in melee range and we're in darkness, and it would be normally a -5, but we succeeded in that skill check, so it's a -3. But then he has a might increase of +3. So it's just going to be a wash. Whatever we roll is a hit. That's going to be 48 or higher. 78, I will take it. So once again, D8 8 to do D4, so that's going to do 2 points of damage. We're also going to use a power point here, so that's going to make his power points go from a 5 down to a 4, and we get to re-roll this die and do another D4 worth of damage. So 3 divided by 2 is also going to be 2, because you round up. So we did a total of 4 more points of damage. We'll move him down to a 13. Looking here, there isn't much that our priest can do. He's got a prayer that would allow other people to use their second-handed weapon and not have to pay a power point to do so. But the only person that has a second weapon is our telepath here, and it's not going to help her because it's melee range, and we're just stuck in this corridor. So I think we're just going to pass on his turn. Nothing much we could do. We can maybe heal somebody, but that's fine right now. So instead, we're going to have this Night Stalkers activate. So this Night Stalker is going to take a step forward, but this Night Stalker is the only one that can attack, and it's going to attack Samson. We're going to have +2 to this. It just needs to be a 36. Oh, it's a 31. +2 is 33. Airballed it. So that was absolutely wonderful. What we're going to do now is we're going to have Val activate her telepath ability. Push to a target in any direction, causing 1d4 damage to anyone impacted and loses 1d4 Vita. You may then spend 3 power points to push 4. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go from a 5 all the way down to a 2, and you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. So moving that down to a 2 is going to allow us to push 4. She's going to target this Night Stalker and push him 4 this way. That's also going to affect this Night Stalker. 1, 2, 3, and this one will go 1, 2, 3, 4. I should probably keep going the same way. So they are pushed all the way back here. Each one loses 1d4 Vita, but that means now we can get our heroes and have them swarm up to here and be able to attack them instead of being on this one-on-one battle here. So the green die is for the Night Stalker that has already taken damage. The blue die is for the new Night Stalker. Oh my gosh, 2 8s. That's 4 points of damage to each one. Man, I am loving my dice right now. So this one's going to go from 22 to 18 right here. And then this one is going to go from 13 all the way down to 9 already. Oh, I love Val. She's not done either. Her movement is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's going to come right here, attack this one again with her range weapon. We'll move from a 2 to a 1, and she has overall a -2 to this roll. Trying to get above 48. 93, done. Totally a hit. So 1d4, and we got a 7, which is also 4 points of damage. That guy goes from a 9 down to a 5. The Archaeologist is next. 1, 2, 3, 4. Comes up here. He's going to whip this guy. I think we should be able to take him out. Especially because I'm not going to forget to get the extra +1 from Val's attack. So we'll go down to 4 health, not 5. I'm going to remember, you guys. I'm gonna. We've got -5 because it's dark, +3 because of the might that he has, plus the 2 from the fact that we passed that skill check. So there's no change to this dice roll. Just have to get above a 48. And that's an 86. Oh my gosh. So we'll roll for damage. Oh, it's only a 1 point of damage. Because I only did 1 point of damage plus the 1 from our damage bonus, that's 2. I need 2 more. I really want to take him out. So we're going to use this ability. 5, that's more than enough. Divide that by 2. That's another 3 points of damage. This Night Stalker is toast. Our priest is way back here. 1, 2, 3, 4. He cannot get within range, but next round, all 3 of them can gang up on that one Night Stalker who has 18 health. So next, the Night Stalker is going to go and he's going to attack Samson. Adding +2 to this die roll. Ah, yeah. 70 plus 0. So under a certain way of looking at this, this would be a 70 roll. I'm counting it as an 80 roll. We have a hellish howl. It unleashes a howl that chills your soul and threatens to overwhelm you. Lose 2d4 Vita, and then you must pass a nerve 5 or lose your next turn. And then he's going to turn into a werewolf. Yeah, this is what happened. We took out his companion, and he is pissed. Here's the nerve 4 check. That's a 0, so that's a 10. So we pass the nerve 4 check. But now we lose 2d4 worth of health. That's a 4, so that's 2 damage and 3. That's a total of 5 damage hit to the Archaeologist. He goes from a 21 to a 16. We now have the werewolf to deal with. They have 27 health, but remember, because of that special ability, the 27, he still takes into account the damage he's already taken. So he took 4 damage. So he'll only have 23 health, not 27. Woohoo! That's a small benefit. His might is +4 at dusk. His defense is 58. Oh, but he does give us lots of lore, lots of coins. He has got all these abilities. We won't read those right now. He's a shapeshifter. And what's his special? At the beginning of each round, lycanthropic characters must pass Occult 5 or be unable to attack or use ability items against werewolves. The werewolf's human form is a Night Stalker. So based on what I see, if you go from the corner of this box over to the corner or to any corner of this box, she should have line of sight, I think. It's kind of hard to see, but I think she does have line of sight to the werewolf. So I'm going to have her attack the werewolf. This will be her final use for the quartz lantern. So after this, it's going to be useless. But remember, she gets an overall +3 to her die roll because she has no negative effect for the darkness, and she's got +3 for her might. A 48, 49, 50, 51. That's a miss. Next is Samson. Samson is melee range, so -5 +3. So we've got a -2 overall. So we're going to have to roll a 60 or higher. That's a 95. That's definitely a hit. A D4. That's an 8, so that's 4 points of damage. Oh, yeah. We're going to go from a 23 to 19. I will take a hit like that any day. Okay, our priest has been pretty much non-existent so far. That's not going to happen anymore. He's going to come right to here. He's going to attack with his pickaxe. You guys, I'm not going to forget. +1 damage for Samson, so the werewolf actually has 18 health. That's because of the damage bonus. See, I'm not going to forget. So now what we have to do is, for our priest, -3 for the darkness, +4 for his might, so that's an overall +1. So we have to roll a 57 or higher to hit. That's a 75. That is definitely a hit. So now we roll 2 d8s and take the better result. A 7. So that's 4 points of damage. +1 is 5. So we're going to go from an 18 down to a 13. Yeah, we're going to take out this guy. No problem. Sweet. Val's going to get up close and personal with this werewolf. She's going to go 1, 2, 3 to come in right here. And she is going to attack with her hand axe. So this is still in darkness. She has the lantern though in her other hand, so I don't think she has to worry about the -5 for the lantern. I think instead she gets the +5 might for the hacker, plus her +3 might, so she gets a +8. So she just has to roll a 50 or higher to hit. And that's a 29, so that's 100% a miss. Well, that was a bit of a bummer. But okay, here's Samson. He gets a +3, -3, so he's washed out at 0. We just have to roll a 58. And that's a 21. That's also a miss. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're leaving it up to the priest here. Overall, he gets a +1. And he rolls a 14. That's an air ball. Boy, this werewolf is hard. So I'm going to roll this d6 for targeting die. 1, 2 is the archaeologist. 3, 4 is the priest. 5, 6 is Val. Only a 15 for the werewolf and a 3. 15 is low enough. He misses everybody. So the werewolf doesn't touch anyone. Awesome. Okay, so that means we're going back to the beginning of the round, and Val is going to go. She has overall a +5 plus her 3 might, so it's going to add +8. Just need a 50. She gets a 0, 0, 0. That's a total of a 10, so that's a miss. My goodness gracious. Now, if I was playing the other way, that would have been 100. Too bad I'm not playing the other way. Now we move to Samson. Come on. He gets an overall +0. 42. That's nothing. Here's our pick for our priest. He gets an overall +1, I believe. Yep, +1. 37 +1, 38. Still a miss. All 3 miss again. We're all getting a little tired, I think, in this fight. And now we'll roll for the werewolf. And remember, 1, 2 is the archaeologist, 3, 4 is the priest, 5, 6 is Val. That's an 81 and a 1. That's going to hit the archaeologist again. And we have Bloody Rage. Lose 4 Vita. Any character adjacent to you must pass Trickery 7 to avoid losing 3 Vita. Oh no, they're all next to him. The Priest has +1 Trickery, so he just needs to roll a 6 or higher. Oh my gosh, he's good. Val, though, needs to roll a 7 or higher. And she failed. Val moves down to 19, and the Archaeologist moves down to 12. Okay, it's time. Let's hit this werewolf hard. So Val gets a +5, +3, which is a total of +8. So he just has to roll a 50 or higher to hit. That's a 95. Boom. Okay, she rolls a D6 and gets to add +1 to this. Come on, 6. Come on, 6. That's a 1. She does 2 points of damage. That makes the werewolf go from 13 down to 11. Our Archaeologist has a range of 2, so he's going to take 1 step back here. He can still target this werewolf because he's within a range of 2, and that way then he can't get attacked next round, which hopefully will help him survive. He has a wash, so he needs to roll a 58 to touch this werewolf. 80 or a 90, definitely a hit. So here's our D8 divided by 2, 4. We do 2 points of damage +1 because of his bonus damage. So that's 3. So that's going to put us down to 8 health for this werewolf. Priest pickaxe time. Total +1 just needs a 57 or higher. 95. Boom. Then we'll roll 2 D8s. And we'll definitely take the 6. That'll do 3 points of damage. +1 is 4. And this guy's down to 4 health. Oh yeah, he's not going to last long. Now we're back to the werewolf. 1, 2, and 3 on this die is going to be our priest. 4, 5, and 6 is going to be Val. Let's see. 84, definitely a hit, and 1 is our priest. That means our priest is going to lose 4 health, and we have to check Trickery 7 just for Val. Come on, Val. Come on, Val. That's a 10. Good, she doesn't lose any health. But our priest goes down to 17 health. Val just has to roll a 50 here. Come on, 50. Oh yeah, 90 +1. That's 100. That is a direct hit. This means, you guys, that they can get an extra movement or they may recover all their power points. Yeah, all our power points. Are you kidding? We'll go to 6 power points. Heck yeah. And then we still get to do 1d6 worth of damage. We could take out this werewolf right here. Come on. A 5 +1 is 6. Oh yeah. See ya, werewolf. So now we have finished the primary goal. We can decide if we want to do the optional goal or not. Now I'm going to stop here and ask you guys what you think. I'm only going to do one more video. So I think my plan is in the next video, if you guys decide that we should do the optional goal, we'll go ahead and do that and then go do the final room. If you decide not to do that, we'll just jump into the final room. I think so far we're doing pretty well. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm having a blast, and I promise you it will not be another full week before the next playthrough video comes out. I now can leave this game up, so it's really going to help us. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of the day. See you in the next episode.